Hello, you're watching TVP World News. I'm Jan Ślewiński. Russia struck the city of Poltava in central eastern Ukraine on Thursday morning. According to first reports, the attack left 2 people dead and 11 more wounded. Air raid sirens were heard throughout the city past 7 a.m. local time, while the Ukrainian Air Force reported Russian drones flying towards the city from the north and the west. The head of the Poltava region's military administration said the strike caused a fire to break out and damaged civilian infrastructure. Ukrainian authorities have set up response headquarters at the site of the attack and urged residents to stay in shelters during air raid alerts. Meanwhile, residents of Ukraine's Odessa remain in shock after an overnight Russian drone strike. A resident of the struck building said everything looked safe when the drone flew past them, but they didn't expect the UAV to turn back around.
We weren't hiding, we were at home, immediately checking our phones to see where it flew. It flew far at first, then suddenly turned back, and as soon as it hit, we all started running out. And now we're just sitting here, out on the tree. A 9-story residential building was hit. A large-scale fire broke out. Apartments from the 7th to the 9th floors were on fire. People were trapped in their apartments and 11 people were rescued from the upper floors, including 2 children, using special equipment. So far, we know of 5 injured, including 2 children.
And we're staying on the subject of military support for Ukraine. Without these rockets, the administration and Donald Trump are opening the sky for Russia and telling Putin that he can hit Ukraine now, said Piotr Kaszowara, president of the Ukraine Future Foundation, when speaking to TVP World about how vital continued Western aid for Ukraine's defense really is right now.
Without these rockets, we can say that the United States or Donald Trump's administration is opening the sky for Russia and telling to Putin that you can hit now, you can kill more people, because what can stop Putin? He even called to President Macron. They had 2 hours conversation a few days ago. And Putin said the same to Macron as he's constantly saying to Donald Trump. He's saying, like, stop sending weapons to Ukraine and then the war will be over. And obviously the war will be over and the country will be over and the freedom and independence of Ukraine will be over if Western countries won't support Ukraine anymore.
The Danish presidency of the Council of the European Union will begin with an inauguration ceremony today in the town of Aarhus. Denmark has announced that its focus while leading the Council will be security, competitiveness and sustainability. A meeting between the Danish government and the European Commission is the first item on the agenda in Aarhus, followed by a press conference with Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Both leaders will then meet with the Danish King and Queen. Afterwards, the Commission will tour the port of Aarhus. Denmark took over the rotating EU presidency from Poland on the 1st of July. The country will hold the position until the 31st of December, after which the presidency will be handed over to Cyprus. Polish-Belarusian journalist Andrzej Poczobut was not among the dissidents recently released by the Lukashenko regime. While he is not as prominent as the released dissident, Serhiy Tsikhanouski, Poczobut is still notable enough to be kept as a bargaining chip against the Polish government, according to political scientist Aleksander Papko.
We see that Alexander Lukashenko mostly releases figures who are not so well known and well demanded by the international community. The release of Serhiy Tsikhanouski and journalist working for the Radio Free Europe, it was probably the only one release of high-profile political prisoners. And again, in my opinion, it was the condition for imposed on Alexander Lukashenko to meet, imposed by the United States to meet with the special envoy Kit Kellogg. As about Andrzej, the problem is that Alexander Lukashenko considers him as a highly valuable tool to make pressure, especially on Poland, and he hates Poland really much, and he wants to sell this journalist. He wants to sell this journalist of Polish origin, Polish ethnicity, but he's citizen of Belarus.
The 11th of July will become a national holiday in Poland, commemorating the Polish victims of ethnic cleansings in the former eastern borderlands. The National Day of Remembrance for the Polish victims of genocide committed by Ukrainian nationalists was signed into law by outgoing Polish President Andrzej Duda. The massacres of Poles in the country's eastern borderlands, in Volhynia and Eastern Galicia, were part of an ethnic cleansing operation carried out in Nazi German-occupied Poland by the Ukrainian insurgent army from 1943 to 1945. It is estimated that up to 106,000 Polish nationals were killed in the massacres that, since 2016, have been recognized by Poland as genocide. These horrid events are a bone of contention in current Polish-Ukrainian relations. This year, exhumations were finally approved for some burial sites in Ukraine by the authorities in Kiev. Today, the Polish Parliament will sign into law a bill reinstating checks on the borders with Germany and Lithuania. This is a reciprocal move to border controls introduced by Berlin and is intended to minimize migrant trafficking from Lithuania. The border checks will begin on Monday. Polish Deputy Interior Minister Czesław Mroczek explains what that will entail.
Some infrastructure to enable control will be put in place, but we are not reinstating permanent border control stations. We will certainly be stopping some cars, so there will probably be a slight slowdown of traffic. But as we will oversee the flow of migrants, we will do our utmost to avoid causing unnecessary obstruction to traffic.
Serbian police have clashed with anti-government protesters in Belgrade after demonstrators blocked the streets of the capital, demanding the release of people detained during earlier protests. In response to the protest, local authorities not only used riot police, but also halted public transport through the Serbian capital.
Protesters began gathering in the streets of Belgrade on Wednesday afternoon, with some detained by the Serbian police. Speaking to local media, organizers of the protests said the police officers used brutal methods of detention, even beating the demonstrators. To fend off the riot police, protesters threw chairs and other objects at the officers. While the protest was still ongoing, at 9 p.m. local time, Belgrade authorities suspended public transport in the city without notifying residents. Similar protests took place in other major cities of Serbia, such as Novi Sad, Niš, Valjevo and Novi Pazar. People protesting on the Serbian streets demand the release of their fellow protesters and early elections.
Wildfires are spreading on the Greek island of Crete, where thousands have now been evacuated in anticipation of the oncoming blaze. Local firefighters are reporting increased difficulty containing the flames due to heavy winds. The fire was first reported in the vicinity of Ierapetra in the southeast section of the island and spread rapidly. Thick smoke has engulfed the area, drastically reducing visibility. The road near the beach resort of Agiafocha has been closed. Buildings have also been reportedly destroyed due to the blaze. Authorities are evacuating residents as well as tourists from hotels and rented accommodations. The police have urged residents and visitors to avoid all non-essential travel due to hazardous air quality, extreme heat and falling ash. Poland's top tennis star Iga Świątek returns to Centre Court at Wimbledon this Thursday to face off American Katie McNally in the second round. This as Kamil Majchrzak confidently defeated Ethan Quinn in the second round of Wimbledon 2025 on Wednesday.
The Świątek match will be played at 2:30 p.m. Central European Time. The pair met once before at the senior level in 2022 in Ostrava, where Świątek came out on top. McNally, currently ranked 208th due to injury setbacks, entered the main draw using a protected ranking. Meanwhile, 3 other Polish players kick off their doubles campaigns. Jan Zieliński pairs with Czech Adam Pawlaszek, Magda Linette joins forces with American counterpart Benada Pera, and Katarzyna Peter partners with Egypt's Mayar Sherif.
Now moving on to breaking news in the world of sports. Spanish media has reported that Diogo Jota, the 20-year-old Liverpool and Portuguese national team footballer, has died in a car accident. According to Marca, the car burst into flames after veering off the road. Jota, a key player for Liverpool Football Club, is believed to have been travelling with his brother Andre, 26 years old, who is also a footballer, and feared dead. The crash occurred on the A52 highway in the Spanish province of Zamora. Details about the crash remain limited, but the reports say the car left the road and caught fire. The 28-year-old has just celebrated a major personal milestone, marrying the mother of his 3 children, Ruta Cardoso, just 2 weeks ago. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and please stay with us on TVP World.